Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to cover the Pro Division. This would be the back 9 holes of the Get Set Go tournament. So, much better back 9 than front 9 for sure. Definitely bailed myself out, and it looks like both my pro accounts will be moving on to the final round. So I will see you at the latest on Sunday morning for the final round pro content. If you're not a subscriber, please become one by hitting the subscribe button. Of course, it's totally free. And secondly, if you like the videos, please take a moment there to hit the thumbs up button before you leave and give the video a like. Same thing here on some of these holes. We're going to back up our drivers just to get in the right spot for the second shot. And this is one example of that. We're going to go with 4 top, 3 bars of side spin to the left, and really just aiming down the middle of the fairway here. All we're looking to do is just keep this in sniper range for shot number 2. Because there is a small little funnel here on the right side of the hole, in which I'll show you. Tried to find it on the front 9, but obviously, wasn't there to show you, but it is here now. It's really about getting the backspin right. So you can see here, all we're trying to do is get down the middle of the fairway, and that's going to leave us for shot number 2. Shot number 2, I played 0% at mid. Now, what I'm trying to do here is apply my backspin. And you'll see that I'm going to wiggle the target around until I kind of find this little sticky spot. I'm sort of on the right-hand side of the cup, so it's just like that. The spin adjustment I'm using, I'm putting my blue ring right there on the rough line, as you can see. And then I'm using, about 0.8 bars of side spin to the right with about 1.5 back. Now your spins could vary a little bit depending on your drive, especially your back spin. I think the right side spin is good because on my first attempt I missed to the left-hand side with 0.5 bar of right. So I added more right side spin, but my drives were almost identical. They were off by 1 yard. That was it. So my back spin was the exact same on both accounts. And then from here, I make my pull. Hit a perfect ball. And this one with the extra right side spin was dead center to pick up an eagle on hole number 1. Definitely a long range eagle. You won't see a lot of opponents pick it up. So if you're able to copy that one and get it in, you'll be off to a really good start on the back 9. Okay, this is going to be hole number 2. Hole number 2, we're going to be using a navigator ball. You can use a navigator, using a kingmaker. You can use really whatever ball you want to because this is really probably one of the best wind angles we can get for this hole. We don't even have to apply any spin. All we're going to do is use our Goliath, and we're going to just be aiming just basically in the middle of the fairway. So if you take a look right here, look at my blue ring. If you take a look at the entire blue ring on the left-hand side, right-hand side, and the bottom, there's all separation in the fairway. This is going to make it a very easy landing point. Goliath level 9, I'm at the +2. I don't know what your 8, 7, and 6s will be, but if you can just get anywhere around this zone, that looks really good. The second thing that I'm looking at here is the end of my ball guideline. Notice how it's pointing to the right-hand side of the hole. So essentially, if you were to take a pencil and just draw where the ball guideline stops and just keep it moving forward, we would definitely be aiming significantly to the right-hand side. This is no spin. You don't have to use anything. I tried to mess with some side spin. I tried to mess with some top spin. Top spin, your ball goes way too far. Back spin is a little bit better, but depending on the strength of the wind, you could come up short. So I do think it's best to just go with a no spin approach. So as you can see, even with no spin, the speed is good, but look, after it rolls out, we're still about 2 or 3 green squares past the hole. So you definitely don't want to add any top spin. I took some shots of practice. I tried adding a little bit of back spin, like I said, but then it really becomes to, a power 3 ball, power 2, power 1, depending on what you're using. It's going to be completely wind strength dependent. So I would just keep it no spin. I would play right around that same zone as I was. Just make sure the end of that ball guide line is pointing to the right-hand side of the cup, and you're going to be very, very safe on hole number 2. Hole number 3, the first shot is 10% at max. Second shot is 0% at mid. This replay is all in one. This hole has been very frustrating for me. This is normally a hole in which I pick up the albatross on very consistently. You know, I don't know what the issue is here. I'm going with the red ring on the rough line. Red ring on the rough. Let's look at the top spin. 4.5 top, 3 right. We don't really have to push the drive this hard. As a matter of fact, I had a couple people ask me why we're not using full top spin, or not full top spin, but 6 bars of top spin on this hole. 2 different reasons on these wind angles, which I'll cover, because when I get a couple people ask me the same question on Messenger, I assume maybe other people out there have the same question. So the reason I'm not using 6 bars of top spin on this drive is because I don't want to get so far up the fairway that I end up taking shot number 2 rough bump and get caught in between clubs. So I don't know if that would happen or not, but I do know that by not pushing the drive that hard, you know, I'm definitely staying in Goliath range. To me, it's all about just staying in Goliath range. That's it. You notice here the curl on the drive, a little bit of curl. All right, shot number 2 is not here. Where is shot number 2? All right. Well, that's weird. Give me 1 second, and I'll find it, hopefully. All right, bear with me a second, because I don't know what happened to shot number 2 here. All right, I'm trying to hunt it down. I sent these recordings over to a different device, so I guess it didn't get all of them. Who's my opponent here? All right, bear with me. I got an idea. Obviously, hopefully you're just fast forwarding through this part. All right, well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get shot number 2, but I'll play it at the end of the video, so this was a lot of wasted time. If you just wait till the end of the video, I'll put shot number 2 up there. Let's just go to hole number 4. Hole number 4, we're playing 20% at max. I'm going back to using the Goliath on this shot. It's a little bit more than 2 bars of topspin. You know, this is probably 2.3, 2.4. And this is going to be the area that we're going to be referencing for the shot. So the blue ring kind of at the top of the sand there with a little bit of separation on the blue ring from the rough line, just like that. Here, I couldn't get this shot to drop, and it was actually pretty inconsistent for me. So I messed around with trying to tweak and put a little bit of left side spin on it. Even just the slightest left side spin was missing the hole. So here I play it straight up with no spin. This shot definitely needs some tweaking, but it can get there. I don't really have a whole lot for you on hole number 4, unfortunately. I just couldn't get that one figured out. Now this would be hole number 5, in which I do pick up a drop. Hole number 5, we're going to go with controlled overpower. And I'm going to greatly reduce the top spin that I had on the front 9. So here I'm going with 4.5 top, as you can see, adding a little bit of side spin as well. And then I'm stretching to max. and then letting my rings fall back down. I did bring back my target a few yards again, just for more controlled OP. And as you can see here, I'm at max overpower with no issues of needle speed. Now, I still hit a great ball, unfortunately, but it's okay because all I want to do is go from fairway to fairway without clipping the rough and rolling out and without going too far up. As you can see here, I left a whole lot of wiggle room between myself and the sand this time, and that's going to lead me for a shot, which is going to be 20% at max. I use 2 bars of backspin. I put the ball guide line right there in the middle of the hole. As you can see, I'm at the +1 yard mark, so I go ahead and decide just to play this one fully at max distance, which is a 9.1 ring pull. And this ball sneaks in barely on the right-hand side of the cup for an eagle. Hole number 6, I play 10% at max. Here we go with 3 bars of side spin to the left. And as you can see here, again, this is just 4 top spin. We're backing our target up to aim down the middle of the fairway. Perfect ball. And we're going to have shot number 2 here, which I want you to try 25% at mid. The shot you're seeing me play is played at 20%. Again, this is my second attempt at it. And on my first attempt, I missed to the left-hand side by a pretty good margin. So here, I apply my backspin. I'm trying to bounce up towards the hole. And you'll see I do an offset. My ball guide line is not even touching the hole. It's fully outside the cup. And I pull this one at 20% at mid. And then as you'll see here, we hit a perfect ball. And we're still going to miss the left-hand side, still by a whole ring, or by a whole green square. So I would add another 5% to this shot, add a little bit more backspin, and see if you can get this one centered up. So very odd there that I keep missing to the left-hand side, even with a big elevation pull. All right, this shot is going to go again. Shout out to Ben Kennedy. Again, this shot was sent to me by several people, who watch my channel, who know that I hadn't played pro yet. And, some people made it, some people barely missed it. It's a tougher one to drop, but it's a very good shot. So thanks, Ben. You do a great job creating content. Here's the trick to the shot. It's going to be set up with a power 4 ball. So you want to use a power 4 ball if you have one at your disposal. If you don't, I accounted for that in this video to really show you the landing spot. But if you have a power 4 ball, what you're able to do is you're able to find minimum distance with your sniper. Like right here, you see how we're at minimum distance? And then we move our target over till the blue ring is on the rough line, just like that. Then we switch to our katana. Our katana, we go 3 bars of side spin to the right, combined with 3.2 bars of backspin. Now here, if you don't have a power 4 ball for the setup, I do show you the setup right here. Look, the blue ring's on the rough line. Look at the white ring, how it dips barely into the sand. And then you can take a look at that angle as well to try to find your offset. The green squares are very difficult to see on this course, unfortunately. But that's what we're looking at. Here, we're going to pull 1-to-1. 7.5 mile/hour wind, 7.5 rings. And then, this is the hardest part to figure out, is how much curl you need to use. Here you see I use about half of my ball inside the adjustment window. This is just a tad too much. As we come very close, but we leave it right there, so we needed less curl. That's going to be the hardest part for the consistency. The setup and the spin is easy. It's coming to duplicate that exact same curl, because it's going to be different depending on your wind strength. So you saw there in 7.5 mile/hour wind, I needed slightly less curl to get that squared up for a hole-in-one. It's a good shot. It's consistent. Good job, Ben and Team Tommy. And now we head into hole number 8. Hole number 8, we do pick up an eagle here. We're going to go 10% at max. We are going to go with 5 bars of top spin, 3 bars of side spin to the right. I'm playing with my yellow ring right there on the right-hand side of the rough. Half a ball of curl, a tad overpower, and this thing comes in very nicely up the fairway, and we get good distance on our yards. Nice part about that is it's going to leave us for basically a dead medium 0% shot here with our thorn. And this is all going to be about finding the right backspin. Here, it's going to be about 3.5 bars for me. And I'll show you what I'm doing with a slight offset here. I'm using the fringe as my bouncing spot. That's the best thing you can do on this hole is use that fringe if you can. Notice I'm aiming just shy to the left-hand side of the pin. Just like that, just barely left-hand side of the pin. Again, this is going to be played at exactly 0% at mid for me. Perfect ball. Hit the fringe, and we roll in very nicely, hit the pin for the eagle. Brings us to hole number 9. Hole number 9, again, is difficult as the game is going to give us 2 different headwind shots on the front 9 and the back 9. All right, but here, we're backing our target up. We're going to pull this one 10% at max. And we should probably take a look at the spin adjustments again because that's going to be extremely important. 4.5 top, 1 left. Back it up so that you can pull your rings accurately. The thing for me is on the extra mile 9, I know that if I back up to the +7 and using a Kingmaker M Pro, I can normally pull most wind strengths without pulling in the overpower. So you see here how I go to the +7 with my red ring on the rough. And then watch, when I pull my rings here, which is 10% at max, notice how it goes right back to the +16. That's maximum distance with my driver. I mean, I've been playing the game for a long time, so I just kind of know that +7 yard mark is always a good rule of thumb. Sometimes in higher winds, I have to go +5 or +6. But I know typically in the low 5s, I can get away with the +7. As you see here, we get great distance on our drive, and we're good to go. It's going to leave us with shot number 2. Shot number 2, again, is consistent. Here's the biggest difference, though. Most people are used to playing this one with 3 bars of side spin to the right. Now, I did take one practice shot on a par 5, which I normally never do. And it's because I knew that I had to eagle this on both my accounts to make sure that I made it. I did go with 3 bars of side spin to the right. It's too much. It's too much with the wind blowing to the right. 2.5 is good. And again, cap yourself at 4.5 top. 4.5 top, 2.5 right. Yellow ring right here on the rough line. 10% at mid. Full curl to the right. Perfect ball. And we're just clipping that rough and rolling out like that. Good success on both my accounts. Okay. All right. Here comes, as promised, shot number 2 on hole 3. Really sorry about that. I don't know how I cut off my replay. But here we're going for the rough bump. And we're going to use a little bit of backspin. You know, I don't make this shot or anything, but I just want you to see how the ball rolls. Again, a little bit of my green inner ring on the, I guess on the fairway line there, or fringe line, whatever it is, and most of the green inner ring in the rough. This is a very minor 1159 pull angle, which I do believe is important with the wind blowing from left to right. So, very minor 1159. Here I clip the rough, and we just missed to the right-hand side. So, hey, that's it for Pro. I hope you do awesome. Sorry for this little technical glitch here, but we got it figured out, and best of luck to you.